Day 5, and it's time for some real talk. So this morning, it's all sort of hit me. The body aches and pains are starting to build. The bruises are hurting, even the fire ant bites. And then on top of that, I just had a moment of thinking, man, what have I got myself into? 5 days into this thing, and there's so much more to do. So I'm fighting back. I made some great progress today. I have to remind myself I've got a wall up, and it's fun to look at and it's exciting to see. So we're going to keep going, man. But I just want you to know, if you've never built anything before, Day 5 might be a moment where you get tested. But let's go. Let's do it. Day 5. Here we go. All right, so here's the wall that we made yesterday and got up. And a couple things to point out. One, the design did not have a window in here, so I kind of read up and figured out how to frame out a window. I know what window size is going in there. You definitely want to figure that out before you start building. And of course, you want your header, which runs across. It's a 2x6 double stacked. You could put a sheet of OSB or plywood in the middle to buff it out, make it thick as the 2x4s on their width. But I did not do that, so I just justified it to the outside wall so the siding can attach to it. And then you got your king stud that runs the full length on the side of the header, and the jack stud or trimmer stud, depends on what you want to call it, it runs right next to it. So a double strength there. The cripple stud is the one that runs halfway up underneath the bottom frame for the, and you can do that bottom board for the window differently. Like in a house or something, you wouldn't do it this way. You'd put two on their upside, so you have a place to attach the window and the ceiling. So we just took a couple of shortcuts because it's just a shed. You know, we built it laying down on the table and lifted it after it was all constructed. That's really easy. It makes it a lot easier. You do need two people though, because it's super heavy. I mean, I guess if you're a brute, you could get it up with one. It's just tricky to nail the support boards and stuff and all that. So I would suggest two. The plans also did not have a double stud on the end. And Lee advised doing this because it's gonna make it stronger, and also it presents a wider point for the wall behind it. When it runs in, it's gonna have a 2x4 on it, and it can attach to this full surface here. So that's it. We're using 3 1/4 nails for all of this. They're a little long in places, but that'll be fine. It's just a shed. And then of course we use 2 nails to attach it to the floor. One up close, making sure it goes into the 2x6 below. And we just did that between each stud, skipped the short, and you can see we just kept going. So the big trick here is just to make sure it's level. So this support board, we went ahead and nailed it in at the bottom before the wall went up and made sure it was long enough to extend past where the wall needed to go. And then we lifted the wall and used a 4-inch level to make sure the wall was straight up. And once it was straight up, we nailed in for the support beams. We did 2 of those and it stayed up all night, so yay. So that's the anatomy of a wall. And now I've got to do that again on this side by myself. So this bottom plate is crowning up, and the instructions said to set them so the crown was up when you mark them, so it's kind of expected. But I don't like it because the 2x4s are sitting lower than this thing. So I'm going to clamp this thing down. I guess if you had somebody with you, their hands could be the clamp, but by myself, so let's try this out, see if it helps. All right, a couple tips for the header. which of course goes above the window in this case, or it could go above a door. I've cut two 2x6s. I'm gonna put the nasty side internal so that I have nice good wood on the outside to mount siding to. So nasty. There we go. Then I'm gonna nail them together. I've got 3 1/4, that's too long for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it at an angle. And if you just give it a slight camber like that, the nail won't come through. Also, since I'm not doing the OSB, I've got these little pieces of OSB left over for my gussets, and I'm gonna use those as spacers. So it's gonna push this up so that it's flat level to the frame of the outside, so the siding can mount flush to it. So just a couple tips there. All right, so I'm ready to lift my wall, but I need to put these angle brackets up so they're ready to go as soon as the wall's up, at least one of them. And so to do that, I'm getting a little ingenious with myself and the things I have lying around. I've got this ladder serving as lead, and I'm going to go ahead and nail 2 nails in at the bottom so it's rigid and ready for the wall. Okay, so here's today's installment of Noob Mistake. When you put up your walls like this across from each other, before you bolt or nail the second wall into the floor by eyeballing it to the edge of your floor joist, which is what I did, make sure that your bottom and top post, or not post, but beams, I forget, fit in the gap that you're doing it on. I skipped a step in the Instructables about doing chalk lines, and that might have been important. So I'll just shave off equal amounts from each end, and some of my studs will be a little closer than I guess. I have to deal with everything being shorter now, siding and everything. All right. To fix it, I'm just cutting off 2 blade widths on each end, and that was about how much I was off by. So today ended with a bang. The bang of a hammer mutilating my thumb. So we're on the way to the emergency areas. I want to say emergency room, but it's like a quick med kind of thing, but ER, but somewhere in the middle. So we'll see if I need stitches. And I'm hopeful that I'll be back on the job site tomorrow. All right, I'm back home after my trip to the ER. Got my thumb bandaged up. That makes it look worse maybe than it is, I don't know. Anyway, no stitches. Broke off a micro piece of my thumb bone that they can't do anything for. But here I am, I got 3 walls up, man. You know, I had a little moment this morning, but I have to say, even injuries aside, I'm back in it. I'm ready to do some more work, and it's gonna kill me if I can't do too much tomorrow. We'll see how I feel in the morning. Backup plan is I'm gonna take these old-timey windows that Lee's given me and re-glaze them. I don't know how to glaze a window, so that's gonna be something I'm gonna share with you. All right, till next time, guys, take care.